This is the new 2027 Forester Wilderness Hybrid Edition. What they've done is take the new hybrid powertrain and they packed it into a Forester Wilderness. So what do we have here? Well, let's take a closer look. This episode of Driving Sports TV is brought to you by Onyx Off-Road. Click the link below to save 20% off your new membership using the code DSTV. The vehicle we're looking at here is an early pre-production model, so there might be some adjustments when these finally hit production later this year. Under the hood is Subaru's new hybrid powertrain. This combines a 2.5-liter Boxer engine with a pair of electric motors. Total system output, 194 horsepower. So you do get a 14 horsepower gain over the standard Forester Wilderness. The transmission is a planetary CVT and it does send power to all four wheels through Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive. This is a full-time system with a physical drive shaft from front to back. It is basically the same powertrain that you will find in a standard Forester hybrid. But as you can see, this isn't a standard Forester hybrid because they've raised the suspension. You now have 9.3 inches of ground clearance. You also have much better approach, breakover, and departure. The approach angle is 23.5 degrees, breakover is 20.6, and departure is 25.5 degrees. On top here, we do get ladder-style roof rails. These will hold up to 800 pounds static, which means this basically is all set to go if you want to mount up a rooftop tent. This also comes with matte black, 17-inch alloy wheels wrapped in Yokohama Geolandar all-terrain tires. They are a mild all-terrain, but through my years of using them, I actually rather like them. I think they're a great compromise all-terrain for a daily driver like this. There are open diffs front and back, but power side to side is managed using the X mode system. This will use wheel brakes to shift that power as necessary. We of course have the standard Type 1, which is snow, and then Type 2, which is deep snow and mud. Up here you also get a decal on the hood. This helps prevent glare from reflections when you're driving into the sunset. In the back we do get a power lift gate, and it does actually have illumination back here, which is nice. Under the floor, does it have a full-size spare? No, doesn't have any spare. Fix a flat kit, because of course this is the hybrid. Where are they going to put it? If you want to rock a spare, you'll have to either add a hitch and put a carrier on the back, or you can mount it to the roof rails. I mean, with a basket, obviously. In terms of cargo space, you're looking at 69 cubic feet with all the seats folded down. But the big question is, of course, can you sleep in it? Let's see. So yeah, you can sleep in it because, yes, this is identical on the inside to the standard Forester. And yeah, lots of space. This actually would be a pretty comfy place to camp. Back here, we also get a 12-volt socket. The second row is nicely equipped because this kind of includes all the bonus features you would normally pay more for in one of the other powertrains. I get heated seats back here, plus USB-C, USB-A, vents, and of course, a fold-down armrest. I am 6'1", legs torso proportionate, got room for my head and my legs, which is really nice. Powered up. What do we got? Digital gauge cluster. We have their last generation infotainment system, but there is one thing I like about this compared to the new, quicker, better system that's in the Outback, and that is because this actually has telemetry still. I can hit car info and see data about the road that I'm on. How much tilt do I have? How's the all-wheel drive system functioning? Stuff like that. And then of course above that I can pick my X mode setup. And when I do click X mode, it will engage a front camera. This has both a front camera and a rear camera, but it does not have the full 360 package. Now, as for the rest of this interior, yeah, it's more of the same. It's identical to the current generation Forester and Forester Hybrid. We get a nice synthetic leather wrapped steering wheel. We have comfortable seats. I actually rather like these seats. We have that little like anodized copper look everywhere. And then we even have a couple nice cup holders with room for handles, spot for a phone. And then I can even use the charging pad. Although I see they've made no changes to the charging pad, it's the same one they've been using. Don't love it. My phone has a tendency to kind of shake around a lot and lose its charge position. But, you know, hey, wireless charging, it's included. In here we get a big bin, and then we also have a 120 watt 12-volt socket. In terms of active safety, this has the latest eyesight system. It has blind spot warning and rear cross traffic alerts. It'll also do lane detection and has full adaptive cruise control. obviously cannot drive it today. This vehicle was basically put together with screws and duct tape. So it is a model only. They can drive it actually, but we're not allowed to drive it because it's basically a one of two right now. Overall, I do like what Subaru is doing here. I think a hybrid wilderness is a really good way to go. I was kind of hoping for them to figure out some way of including a full-size spare tire, but I see that, packaging, it does have its restrictions. That said, Toyota was able to put a full-size spare into their RAV4 Woodland, which is also a hybrid. Unfortunately, we didn't get to drive it today, but we will have a full review in the coming months. And when we do, I have one big question. Can it make it up the ladder? That is our difficult 26-degree climb over at our mountain test course. When we tested the new Forester Hybrid just last year, it had trouble getting up the course, even with all-terrain tires. So can this one make it up? We'll have to wait and see. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share our videos. We make them for you, and I hope you enjoy them, and we'll see you again right here on the next one.